Live picture from San Jose. The police department about to hold a news conference to give us an update on the officer who was shot this morning responding to a family disturbance around 8 o'clock. Let's listen in.
First of all, I want to thank all the members of the community who have reached out for their messages, cards, flowers, and their support of our officer today, and also the law enforcement agencies that assisted us. So thank you for the outpouring support. Tonight, I stand before you full of emotions, angry, grateful, and with a profound sense of pride in the officers of this great department. I will be providing you with additional details on this heinous and cowardly act that unfolded earlier this morning, when two of our officers were ambushed while responding to a call of a family disturbance by a coward and a convicted felon with a gun that he should never have had. We are still actively investigating the incident while simultaneously praying and caring for the wounded officer and her family as she's still in the hospital in stable but critical condition. I also want to thank the San Jose Fire Department personnel and the hospital medical staff that treated and are caring for our sister officer. The tremendous outpouring of support for our officer is greatly appreciated. The response to this incident by countless members of this department was swift, courageous, and commendable. Once again, I'd like to thank the several agencies who responded to the scene and assisted our officers, and who also helped us respond to calls in our city during this incident, including the California Highway Patrol, San Jose State University, Los Gatos Police Department, and the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office. Today, at 8:20 a.m., officers responded to a call of a family disturbance at the 1300 block of Ozare Avenue. The female caller said her husband was drunk and tried to hit her. The caller stated that the male subject had broken down their bathroom door, and units were dispatched to the scene. Responding officers arrived at a two-story condominium complex with an enclosed stairway leading up to a balcony that served as a primary entrance to that residence. Less than 30 seconds after arriving, one of the officers attempted to call up to the front door balcony and announce themselves as San Jose police officers. The suspect exited onto the balcony's landing and, from a position of concealment, discharged a firearm, striking our officer. What followed next was an act of undeniable courage that few of us will ever experience. Without hesitation or consideration for himself, the officer's partner extracted the victim officer from the line of fire to a place of safety where he began to treat her injuries. Actions that surely contributed to both of them surviving this deadly attack. The victim officer was transported by police vehicle away from the scene, then by ambulance to a local hospital. She is currently in critical but stable condition. The suspect barricaded himself inside the residence with his wife after the shooting. Officers from the Merged Tactical Unit and other specialized operations personnel responded to the scene. The suspect's wife exited the residence and was not injured. After a roughly 4-hour standoff, the suspect later exited the residence and was taken into custody. No other people were located inside. A firearm was recovered at the scene. Suspect Gabriel Carreras is 44 years old. He has an extensive criminal history. The suspect is on active felony probation out of Santa Clara County, and he's also a prohibited person and should not be in possession of any firearm. The female victim, officer, has 10 years of experience. She is the first female officer shot in line of duty here at the department. The male officer has 10 years of experience as an officer, 6 of those with San Jose PD and the rest with a prior agency. Both officers are CIT trained, had their body-worn cameras activated, which recorded the incident. This is the second San Jose police officer shot in the line of duty this year. Our officers face dangers every single day. They put on this uniform and badge. They know full well that they may be confronted by such heartlessness and violence like they did today. Yet they still go out and do exceptional work to keep our community safe. As we speak, our officers, your officers, are out there handling calls for service despite this tragic incident. Today, we are extremely blessed that we did not lose another officer. I am tired and angry that violence and firearms in the hands of those who shouldn't have them continue to be present in our communities, putting everyone in danger. I'll now pass it over to Assistant City Manager Lee Wilcox.
Thank you, Chief. On behalf of our city manager and over 7,000 employees with the city of San Jose, I want to say to our injured officer and colleague and their family that our thoughts and prayers are with you tonight and that you're weighing heavy in our hearts. The city team is wishing you a fast recovery, and all of our city employees are here to help you and your family if needed. I want to thank this department, Chief Mata, Assistant Chief Joseph, and the rest of the command staff for their leadership. I'm extremely grateful for this department and all of the officers who continue to put their uniforms on every day, and the heroics and bravery and courage that you do every time you step out on the street. It's immeasurable, and City Hall doesn't take that lightly. Thank you, and I'm going to hand it over to our Mayor, Matt Mahan.
Today started off with some of the worst news imaginable. News that one of our own, one of the officers who protect us, was shot in the line of duty. We were all praying for her swift recovery and for her husband and family during this incredibly difficult time. I'm profoundly grateful for the work of our police department today and every day. Thanks to their immediate action and utmost professionalism, no one else was harmed in today's events, and there is no ongoing threat to our community. We have an exceptional police department full of brave and selfless officers. Today's events are a stark reminder of the solemn oath they take to protect and serve our city, and the immense personal risk they assume as they carry out their jobs every day. I want to thank each of our officers for their service, as well as Chief Mata and Assistant Chief Joseph, who lead our department so capably. We also have a community that strongly supports our officers, and I know that our city will join me in praying for our injured officer and her family. God bless her, her family, and our San Jose Police Department. Hoy comenzó con algunas de las peores noticias imaginables. Uno de nuestros oficiales resultó herido en el cumplimiento de su deber. Oramos por su pronta recuperación
All right, you've been listening in to this news conference in San Jose. An emotional San Jose Police Chief Anthony Mata giving us an update on the officer who was shot in the line of duty just about 9 hours ago. This is the first time we're actually getting the condition update. We heard the chief say that the officer is currently in critical but stable condition. She has 10 years of experience with the department. She is the first female officer in San Jose to be shot in the line of duty. But again, Julie, critical but stable condition. This happening around 8:20 this morning when her and her partner were responding to a family disturbance call.
Yeah, and just to recap, if you're just joining us, it all started, as Mike said, about 8:30 this morning on the 1300 block of Azure Ray Avenue in San Jose. Officers responded, they said, within 30 seconds and once to the report of the domestic call. And once they were there, they identified themselves, announced that they were there. They said that the suspect came out on a balcony and fired a shot that hit that female officer, causing her to be in critical but stable condition. Her officer, also a 10-year, her partner rather, also a 10-year veteran, was able to grab her, pull her to safety, and then started performing life-saving measures.
The chief calling that an act of courage.
Yes,
right?
and then also the suspect then barricaded himself inside the building with his wife. They also went on to say, the chief did, that the suspect came out a short time later. His wife was able to make it out unharmed. The suspect was then arrested. They say he's a 44-year-old man with an extensive criminal history. They did recover a gun at the scene. He was on active probation at the time, but as you can imagine, a very tense moment, a very emotional time. But that officer, the first female officer shot in the line of duty with the San Jose Police Department, is now fighting for her life in critical but stable condition.
And we do have a crew there at the news conference, continuing to monitoring it, and we'll have an update again coming up on the news at 6 o'clock.
All right, coming up.